Hello, I'm Virginia Moore, and we're here at Kentucky Commission on the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. Very proud to say today I have very honored guests here at the table. We're going to discuss what happened here 50 years ago in Frankfort. If you can imagine, Dr. Martin Luther King came to Frankfort 50 years ago to march on Frankfort. I would like to introduce everybody here at the table. Ope.
Hello, my name is Opeoluwa Sotonwa. I also want to give information on this. I'm not a parent. Also, me Vice President of the National Blind Deaf Advocate. I'm happy to be part of this discussion.
Sharon White. I'm here for representing Kentucky Association Deaf, and also I'm a board member of Kentucky Commission of Deaf and Hearing. Happy to be here. Also, I'm a special guest. Would like to introduce who aspiring member of our Deaf and Hearing community, named Gerry Gordon-Brown.
Hello, everyone. It's so honored to be here to discuss the March on Frankfort as it happened in 1964. At that time, I was a student at Kentucky State College, which is now a university. I guess the most profound point at that march was being there near the front of the line when Dr. King and Jackie Robinson joined the march. So that was my very, very outstanding moment. It started me on to continue to be an advocate for people.
Well, let me ask you a question. I think we've all, we don't always talk about age, but you have given us permission to do so. How old were you when you attended that march?
Okay, let me see. Okay, I was born in 1940. Okay, so 24, I'd say 24.
Okay, 24. We have some pictures of you during that time, and you were quite the looker.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I've aged gracefully.
Gracefully. So have us all, right?
Yeah, agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
So during your experience during the march, did you have your family there with you funds?
No, my family did not attend. Basically, I can be very honest with you. We were a very poor family. I lived in the projects, okay? But what I did have was my college friends. We went as a group, and we had a wonderful time.
What made you want to attend this march? I mean, this was at the beginning of Dr. King's push for civil rights, am I correct?
That's correct, that's correct. Well, my grandfather was an advocate in his day. He felt like that we as African Americans would not obtain equality in the United States of America. And at that time, he was involved in the return to Africa. So I guess it kind of grew from that. And I knew that I wanted to make my little part, to make a difference in our community and in our Commonwealth. Dr. King, of course, was invited as a speaker to that march because we were trying to get a bill passed for public accommodations, and specifically in stores, theaters, businesses, housing, and so forth. Now, we were not successful at that time to get the bill passed because it did not come out of committee, okay? But in 1966, we were successful in getting a bill passed, which is known as the Kentucky Civil Rights Act of 1966. Wow. In addition, we were the first state to have such a law. So that was outstanding.
That is incredible. That is incredible.
Truly, myself, most of this happened already in history myself because I moved from Africa. So I'm always curious about what happened in America before I arrived there and what I've seen since challenging. I read most of this. So for me to be sit near to you, because I consider people like you as people with historical consequences who I'm impressed about it. So now I have a question for you. You now, the time we live now, and 50 years ago, You compare it, do you think we are better off now that we have a black president in the White House?
Yes, this is a profound time. We have come a long way, I must admit, but we definitely have a long way to go. But there's a lot to be done.
Definitely. You talked a few minutes ago about segregation and how the theaters were segregated. Can you remember any one time that you felt that this had a huge impact on you as a teen or an adult growing up? What was your one thing that you felt like you were really segregated? Can you remember any one situation?
I remember a number of situations that were very humiliating, very insulting, all because we couldn't do certain things because of the color of our skin, okay? Being the oldest of 4 children, my mother sent us to the country during the summer, and we traveled by train, okay? And there were separate cars for blacks and separate for whites. And during that time, I could not go to the restroom the same as you because I was black. There was colored water fountain, colored waiting room, colored restroom. So it's really interesting when I think about it because I couldn't go where you went because I was black. So I definitely remember that very, very distinctly, you know. And like I said, it was my responsibility to protect the other children who were younger than I. That was my responsibility when we were traveling to see Grandma.
Wow. Wow.
Very interesting story. Well, me, my position, President of Kentucky Social Gap, was black, deaf woman on board also. My experience with Florida, I'm just curious how that applies to you as a deaf woman. You are going, how did that impact you to change your life to become involved with civil rights, advocate for the deaf and hearing people?
And if you don't mind, let me add a little bit. When did you lose your hearing? Were you born hard of hearing or deaf, or how do you identify yourself?
Okay, I identify myself as being hard of hearing, but I was born with the loss. So I've never had normal hearing from day one. And I have a severe to profound hearing loss at this point. My parents were very supportive and they knew that something was going on. And I went for many, many hearing tests. In school, they always gave us every year a hearing test. Religiously, I flunked it, okay, which was good. And then I would be called back to the person in the health department, and then I was given speech reading or lip reading, which was wonderful because I became a very proficient lip reader simply out of survival. Because I went through elementary school, junior high in my day, high school, and 4 years of undergraduate, all without hearing aids. The important part at that point, I had a lot of residual hearing at that time. But later on in 1967, due to marriage and the birth of my daughter, I lost my hearing. I used to tease her all the time. I said, dear heart, that's why you have normal hearing, because you stole some of Mama's.
Well, so let's go back to the march. If you had a severe hearing loss at that time, did you understand everything that Dr. King was talking about?
I definitely didn't understand everything, but I understood major points, okay? I understood that he was there to get this bill passed and what this bill would entitle. And then, of course, my college friends would let me know, put in different points. You know, I would have important points from it. And I tried to, we tried to be as close to it as possible. Now, with the upcoming march, to my knowledge, my friend Sharon has got us set up front, so with an interpreter, so we can hear better this time. So I'm really looking forward to that. Also, part of my church in Louisville is coming, and we're part of the deaf ministry. We have a deaf ministry at my church.
Fantastic.
Okay. Really, I learned a lot from you, from what you say. Really, inspired me a lot. I'm very proud of you.
Oh,
now, thank you. So, I look at you as some important key person that in our community, and maybe I can learn a few more things from you that I can bring to national level of NBDA, because now we need more information, resources, and advice on how we can improve black youth community and other things. So, do you have some kind of advice for us that we can use, especially for the youth, what we can do so that our future can improve better?
Okay, I have a few ideas about that. First of all, we need to have continued and more positive attitudes toward persons who are deaf and hard of hearing. One of our disadvantages is that we have an invisible disability. You can't see it, okay? And that's a disadvantage, okay? But the thing of it is, we can do better, okay? The other thing is we need more accommodation. We also need to follow the letter of the law, which is the ADA, okay? We need more interpreters. We need more money, like everybody else. We also need more and better alternatives. We have a lot of African American minorities that are in jail, okay? We need better alternatives to that, and also have accessible rehabilitation services. So that's about the best that I can come up with.
True, that's right. I agree with you. From what I can hear from you, it means as we consider ourselves that we have a right on that, and we also have responsibility to follow the law, so that the people can see us, because truly community is when you have a positive attitude, people are likely to welcome you more. So thank you for that.
Okay.
I have a question for you. Right now you're currently in taking classes online. You're very inspiring to me. I would like to be like you when I become your age.
Okay.
I mean, you have a 4.0 GPA.
Wow.
Still working.
Yeah.
Still involved with me. A strong advocate for the deaf and hard of hearing community. What do you suggest people to do improve for the community now? What advice would you give someone like me 50 years later?
Okay, well, basically, you helped us to get the African American deaf consumers at the School for the Deaf. You helped them to get, along with Virginia and others, to help get their diplomas. You know, I firmly believe education and training are the keys to a better life, okay? And we need more of that, okay? But we also need to, as African Americans or whoever, deaf and hard of hearing, to be responsible. We need to be responsible, okay, and work hard. And then also work as a team. We can work together, you know. Power is in numbers. And at that time on the march, I didn't realize there was going to be 10,000 people, but I knew that we would make a difference. But there is power in numbers, and there's also power in putting a face on the issue. When you're active and you're out front, then, you know, you can make a difference. But it's about working hard, it's about being responsible, in addition to all of the other things, money and whatever.
And that's fabulous advice, fabulous. Now, I've also heard that not only were you at the march, but you weren't very far from Dr. King, am I right?
That's correct.
How far away would you say?
I would say in almost an arm's length.
An arm's length?
Oh, wow.
I was almost able to reach out and touch him. Now, they didn't allow that because he was so protective of it. But that was definitely an outstanding moment and one that I'll always remember.
I also understand that you had a fabulous opportunity to meet Rosa Parks.
Yes, I did. I had the opportunity to meet Rosa Parks some years ago in Atlanta. She was the speaker for a trailblazing conference, okay, in Atlanta, yeah. I have to share my pictures with you. I got to go back and get them.
You have to go back and get that.
Together.
Absolutely.
Okay.
This has been a fabulous opportunity. We could go on and on, talking about some of your experiences, and we're going to try to do this again. I want to thank you for being here in Kentucky, for advocating. And did you say it was your grandfather that started?
Yes. Yes.
So taking what your grandfather did and carrying it forward, going to the Martin Luther King March, going to the 150 years later, being an advocate for all that time, for deaf and hard of hearing and people of color. You are a wonderful inspiration. We need leadership. I think that's what's happening here in our country. We don't have enough leaders.
Right, agree.
In all areas, we need leadership. So if we could all look in that camera and say to the youth, you need to be sitting here. You need to be one of the leaders that takes this on. And you need to attend the march and be with us, because we will be there as we look to the future to make things better. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome.
So who are these people in the picture?
Okay, these people in the picture, first of all, this is my classmate. We graduated in 1964. And then in the meantime, of course, this is Reverend Martin Luther King, okay, Jackie Robinson, and Frank Stanley Jr., is head of the Louisville Defender. And if I can see, I think that's my roommate up there, okay? I'm not sure about this, but he's the minister, and I think it might be Reverend Ralph Abernathy. I'm not sure, okay? This particular picture, by the way, was given to me as a gift from a friend when we marched in 2004, okay? So I just kept it, okay?
20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, 30 years ago, yeah.
Wow, fine.
Yeah.
So here you have the college degree also.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, I graduated. This was just a really outstanding point in time in my life because I was a senior at Kentucky State University now. It was a college in my day. So it was just a prime time. But yes, this is my degree. I received a Bachelor of Arts degree from Kentucky State College on May 31st, 1964.
20 years ago, so this May. Wow.
Yes.
So now I know that name, the college changed from Kentucky State College
to university. It's the university now. Yes,
Interesting.
yes, it's a university now. So it's grown. Times have changed for the better.
That's what, 50 years ago?
Yes, I know. Most people were not born at that time, such as you, among others.
I wasn't born yet.
Okay.
4 years later.
You were in, yes, okay. You in the making.
Oh, I in the making, but I was coming for the advocate also.
Yes.
I'm very happy to have you here and very honored to be with you today. And thank you for coming with the interview with us.
Okay.
You're more than business.
You're more than
God
welcome.
bless you.
You're welcome.
I also want to take this moment to discuss another civil rights of ours, and that was the Deaf President Now. That was in 1988. I wanted to tell you a little bit about this march. As you well know, we still have a dream. And this was our family in that march for Deaf President Now. Do you see a parallel between the Martin Luther King's time and this Deaf President Now?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's definitely a parallel between the two events. On the same track of I Have a Dream. Yes, definitely there's a big connection. I recall when this occurred, I was at home and we were so excited. My brother called me, my sister called me. Everybody wanted to know, are you watching the television? Of course, I'm glued to it. Call me later.
And you had said earlier in our interview that it takes the masses. And it takes a person to stand up, and it takes leadership. This is evident that it takes the masses.
Right,
It takes
there's
leadership.
power in numbers.
Right.
you
There's
know,
power in numbers.
Right.
And,
And you all made a change. You all made a change. We've got a deaf president.
yes,
you know.
we sure do.
And I had the pleasure of meeting King Jordan. He's wonderful.
So have I.
Okay. Good.